We must confront systemic oppression as a doctor would a disease. You identify it, you call it out, you treat it, and you defeat it. People are really feeling their humanity and really feeling like, you know what, this might not be something I experience on a daily basis, but it's not right that these other people are going through this.
Buy 'em our shoes. We stand with people who kneel for the national anthem. Well, sorry Nike, I've been buying you for the past 20 plus years. Not anymore.
Hi everyone, my name is Brian Egan and our group will be presenting on the Nike 30th Anniversary Just Do It campaign. And before I get into the questions, I wanted to give you an overview of what to expect in our presentation. So each group member in our group will be presenting on the question that they chose in the form of a selfie video. So the question that I chose is, explain why you chose this campaign and its connection to youth and citizenship. Well, for me personally, I chose this particular campaign because I am a sports fan, I'm a runner, as well as a triathlete. So for those reasons, as well as the fact that this particular campaign is very relevant to our course and what we've been studying this term, this campaign really piqued my interest. Kaepernick's activism against police brutality and racial inequality really speaks to what we've been learning in this course. In particular, it speaks to youth as an example of somebody who will stand up, or in this case, take a knee for something that they believe in. While some people may view his actions or decision to take a knee during the national anthem as not being very patriotic, we can also learn a lot from his view of citizenship, so equal value, feeling safe, and having a voice. Nike is also, and obviously a global brand, right? So one that a lot of youth purchase and wear. And Nike ran the Kaepernick ad campaign, believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything. What was the effectiveness of this campaign? Well, I think it's still to be determined. Is a matter of Nike just trying to make more money off of what's been transpiring, or do they actually really believe in this social justice campaign? A couple other interesting points to mention is that Kaepernick received the GQ Citizen of the Year award, amongst others. There's also the Dream Crazy Outstanding Commercial at the Creative Arts Emmys for that 30th year Nike anniversary video. And lastly, Nike just recently launched the Kaepernick Nike shoe. So again, thank you. That was my question, and now you'll hear from the next group member. Thanks.
Hi everyone. So as Brian introduced, we all chose a different question for our presentation to answer. So my name is Savannah, and the question that I had was whether or not your campaign went viral and how and why it did. So as we all know, I'm sure the Kaepernick ad, believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything, did go viral. And there are really several big reasons why it was so successful. And so the first is obviously it was a controversial topic. It was talking about police brutality in a nation that holds police to such high standards, with the current political climate being so divisive. So whether or not you were supportive of the ad, Nike knew that no matter what happened, they were going to get free publicity from this, whether it was athletes tweeting their support for Kaepernick, or it was customers who already had their Nike products that they were cutting or burning. It was all free publicity. People were talking about it, and that's what you need when you're marketing a new product or advertisement. And so a lot of news outlets were calling this advertisement a calculated risk. And so according to a couple different news websites, about 60% of Nike's year-long revenue comes from outside North America. So thinking of it that way, we already know that other countries see the current political climate with the current president, and they think America is going crazy. They think that we are not handling race issues well. They think we are not handling our government well. So to be able to put out this advertisement showing such a big Fortune 500 company supporting racial diversity and supporting the minority, that's also helping their outsourcing of North American revenue. To build on that, their calculated risk, as I said earlier, a lot of Nike's revenue comes from youth. I mean, realistically, athletic gear is going to sell to a younger crowd, it just makes sense. So about 2/3 of customers under the age of 40 within Nike tend to bias progressive. So that's 2/3 of these youth that are buying their clothes, their equipment already are being biased progressive. So they know that they are supporting their majority youth who are already buying this. Now, whether there were people who were already buying Nike, who already agreed with their message, it was likely that they were already going to agree with this ad as well. So while it seemed like they were making a big risk by posting something so controversial, it really was calculated. And so taking advantage of the current political climate, Nike was able to make this ad go viral as a way to first get people talking and also make it seem like they didn't really care what was going to happen from the ad because they already knew they were going to get the customers who they already had.
Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca, and the question that I've chosen to do for this video presentation is who initiated this campaign and why? So hopefully by this point in the video, you have a better understanding of why we chose to analyze Nike's Just Do It 30th anniversary campaign, and also why Colin Kaepernick was chosen to be kind of the front runner of that campaign. This is an ad that Nike developed on its own, and there are actually a few interesting reasons why they would create such a controversial advertisement. So something interesting to note, first of all, is that Nike has had a contract with Colin Kaepernick since 2011. Even after he left the NFL, even after all of this controversy began, Nike never cut their contract with him. They just didn't use him for a couple of years. So the idea that they're bringing him back at this very pivotal moment, kind of in history, is, I think, very smart on their part. They didn't just go out and re-sign him, but they were smart enough to not cut contract with him. Something else that's interesting too is that even after Colin Kaepernick lost his job in the NFL, he was still the 39th best-selling jersey and merchandise in the country. So he was the only person in the top 50 that was still unsigned to a team. So to say that, Colin Kaepernick was bad for business, which is what the NFL had come out and said, that kind of changed that idea. Even when he was not playing in the NFL, Colin Kaepernick was still making a lot of money with his jerseys, with his merchandise. So Nike's choice to use Kaepernick's activism as the face of its campaign isn't really all that surprising. There was a study done in 2018 by Sprout Social that showed that about 2/3 of consumers thought it was important for brands to actually take a stand on social issues. That being said, Nike has never been a company to take a backseat when it comes to controversy. They've been known to take calculated risks, and this is one of those calculated risks that they took that I think has really paid off. American sports journalist Jemele Hill actually laid it out very perfectly in two of her tweets when she said, "I'm just here to remind folks that last year Colin Kaepernick was in the top 50 in NFL jersey sales despite not being on a roster. Nike made a business move. Nike became Nike because it was built on the idea of rebellion. This is the same company that dealt with the NBA banning Air Jordans. They made Jordan the face of the company at a time when black men were considered to be a huge risk as pitchmen. They aren't new to this. So this is something that makes sense for Nike to do. They have always supported their athletes, and they have always taken a stand, really, when a lot of companies were just relaxed and kind of flying under the radar. And this is also coming in the age of, since the 2016 elections, companies are almost being forced to take a stand on politics. Consumers want to know what their companies think about what's happening. They want them to take a stand. CEOs have become less afraid. And at some points, they feel obligated to make these statements about social issues and political happenings. So Nike's CEO, Mark Parker, came out and said that its ad that was starring Kaepernick has driven record engagement with the brand. It's helped boost sales. And he has come out saying that he's very proud of the 30th anniversary activity for his Just Do It campaign.
Nike's 30th anniversary Just Do It campaign was marketed towards the world. It aimed to inspire viewers to push their limits, strive to reach their goals, and go beyond their expectations through different feats, and stay true to their beliefs. For the average individual, this campaign and the video advertisement that followed sparked a sense of positivity and confidence that they could strive for greatness. As Nike is one of the biggest sports brands in the world, consumers do look at their capacity to promote creativity and inspire athletes to provide a diverse global impact. The campaign exhibited purpose-driven marketing with its creative advertisement as well. With 2/3 of Nike's customer base being under the age of 35, the marketing campaign made great strides when getting celebrities and high-profile athletes of different professions to reach out and connect with those individuals all over the world. Global youth was the biggest audience who received this message with a new hope that they could achieve above and beyond their own aspirations. The leading athletes, celebrities, and actors present in the ad campaign aimed to share their stories and where they came from, how they overcame their barriers as well. It focuses on getting other individuals who participate in sports to dream big. Through social media, this campaign and the accompanied message spread all across the globe, fueled by the youth and their desire and passion to achieve more. Through platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, the Just Do It campaign was able to garner more views, and social media weighed in. With viewpoints supporting and opposing the ad, it ignited controversy on what the intentions of Colin Kaepernick were when he kneeled. However, the Just Do It campaign had also sparked a debate for athletes to stand up and be more outspoken to institutionalized racism, as well as for their own beliefs. What started as a simple protest to raise awareness to racial injustices sparked a global social movement to individuals to stand up to racial injustices. Colin Kaepernick stated, "I am not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color." Kaepernick's activism against police brutality and racial injustices speaks not only to the youth, but to the world, as those are his beliefs and many others as well. Nike states that they believe in the power of sport to move the world. This campaign and the following protests to racial injustice, well after the campaign, are proof that our youth are using that awareness to spark debates and action. For those who don't acknowledge racial injustices, this was a wake-up call, as African Americans and other minorities will not idly sit by and let those racial injustices continue to occur without pushback. Everyone was the primary audience, as the goal was to explore possibilities, even when faced with adversity.
Hi everyone, my question was, in our estimation, what were the weaknesses and strengths of the campaign? And what were the effects of the campaign and how long did it last? So a couple strengths that we wanted to highlight were that this campaign was marketed to a younger consumer. And these younger consumers are more keen on social media and social media justice. So essentially, by aligning Kaepernick with the Nike brand, essentially is targeting a younger population who can identify with Kaepernick and his whole protest with the kneeling, and using Nike as a way to kind of promote more sales. Another strength was the tagline, believe in something and if it means sacrificing everything. That alone is a powerful message that connects that protest with a younger audience who will connect with kind of using social media as a way to interact with a larger population. Additionally, it was also timely. The NFL is under scrutiny for Kaepernick's social media justice stand. So for Nike to align with a footballer that has been in the news for a long time is essentially taking a political side. This served as an opportunity for education on what kneeling during national anthem really was all about. So more folks came alongside Kaepernick to support him. Just by searching hashtag I'm with Cap, you'll notice some more celebrities who kind of were aligning with him and supporting him for being a part of this campaign. Additionally, another strength was the overall increase in sales, either by people wanting to align with Nike or people wanting to record burning the product. Funny enough, people that were burning the products essentially had already given money to Nike, so that's something that was also all over social media as well. A couple of weaknesses for the campaign is that, as like most social media posts, they were short-lived, right? So this only lasted between September 3rd, when it was when Nike released the post, through about the end of November of 2018. So there was a lot of social media backlash that went back and forth, people that were for it and against it. So it really only lasted about 2 months. And also another weakness was the risk of alienating consumers who believe the national anthem protests were disrespectful. Again, I think the conversation about why he was kneeling, to what the national anthem means, to all that, I think that had a lot of risk of people just not aligning with Nike because of that product placement. We also connected, kind of the effects of the campaign. So the way I see it was that it combined the American tradition of standing for the anthem with a protest against police brutality and the treatment of minorities. So like the first video that we shared kind of showed Kaepernick expressing these words. He says, "I'm not going to stand up and show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses Black people and people of color." So that alone, shows how much he was willing to go to kind of protest what he wanted to protest, but also aligning with a company that is going to support people of color and minorities. So hope you enjoyed our video. Thank you.